platforms as well, which you should be seeing at the bottom. So thank you guys so much for just being a part of us and supporting us. But today we want to talk about, I'm tired of this. That's literally the title of what we want to talk about today is I'm tired of this. Yeah, and I like this because this is a this is a different flow. Like we just gonna be talking. We just gonna be talking about the little, the topic of being tired of stuff. Yeah, and life. So what kind of it's life in it? Yeah, what kind of stuff has been happening to have us be tired of all this? Well, first of all, we done had 2 earthquakes yesterday. Oh, man. First of all, don't nobody who got time for that? Because I'm like, this is New Jersey. We don't do that here. So you know what? It just seems like since the year started, it's just been nonstop just stuff. Like not pleasantries. It's just been not like, you know how every once in a while you'll go through something and it'd be like you going through this one thing, like it's this one area and you just trying to thug it out. And then it passes, and then you kind of just float on and just be in your regular, like at your baseline. But this year, I know for us, it really started out like just back to back, like major stuff. Like, no, you feel like, okay, we done got past that. Come up for air. Now we should be back to our regularly scheduled programming. And then it's just like, bam, here we go again. And it's like, okay, we done got through that. Now it's back to our regularly scheduled program. It's like, nah, here we go again. And it's just like what the... Like, what is this? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Yeah. Just low key. It's funny because 2023 was like an amazing year. And I remember when we finished in 2023, it was like, I'm going to make it after all. Just amazing time, 23 had its little ghetto parts too. We did ride through the ghetto. A little bit. You remember that job I had? We was riding through the ghetto. Was that 2023? Yes, Jay, it was 2023. Really? Yes, we rode through the ghetto. 2022. See? No. The Lord's be good. Like, he had that. I remember that. I done forgot. I thought that was 2022. No, Jay, that was 23. We rode through the ghetto. We did ride through the ghetto. But see, that's the thing. It's like, you just ride through the ghetto for a little, like you just passing through. Like, just passing through this one little neighborhood. But then when stuff start popping off, you got something out here on 8th Street, on Front Street, it's on Broadway, we got to drive through all of them. All over. And like in a very rapid succession, that's when life him. Yeah. But I think probably why I forgot about it is because the Lord blessed you with an amazing, He did, and amazing opportunity. Yeah, we had some good stuff going on towards the end of the year too. And then 2024 started off like a Mike Tyson punch in the face ball, like just a bow. We had four people pass away in the month of January, and that was just wild. Going to 4 funerals in 6 days. Yeah. Which I've never done that before in my life. And I've been to thousands of funerals as a minister and all that kind of stuff, but I've never had 4 people close to me pass away like that. And then that's crazy. What else happened? Well, we went to the last funeral and we was like, okay, we're good. We're good. And then 2 weeks later, my dad died. Your father passed away. I'm like, well, what? And that was just like, wait, what? Yeah. And you just, I think when you get so much, when you lose so much, you get numb, Yes. And I think for me, when we were at the 4th funeral, which was, a loved one on your end. That was my grandma. Your grandmother. I remember just literally being there, just like, where am I? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally was kind of like, you should not close that many caskets in that many that short time frame. And I was literally just standing there, paying my last respects to your grandmother and just being like, I can't believe that I'm here right now. How did I even get here? How did I drive here? How did I walk in here? Like, those are kind of things that go through your mind when you've gone through that much trauma. Yes, and you're right. And it is like when you experiencing death like that, going to funerals, and it's traumatic. Yeah. It is traumatic, and even, thinking about like when you're talking about like grandparents or parents, like, okay, they're older. Yeah. They live like still. It's a hurt piece. It doesn't make it they lived a full life. No, okay, but no, it's just not. I can't really even explain it. And the other thing, it makes us numb, but also remember, and we was talking about this too, like you start
being like, well, now what's about to happen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because so much stuff happened. It's like, and it seemed like every month something was happening. It just really took a lot to be well, I might as well just be on guard, because it's like, what's going to come down the pipe next?
True.
Like you know how sometimes you wake up, and I usually be the type like, okay, today's going to be good. Like, God got us. We're going to roll this out. I stopped doing that because I was like, this is trash. I'm not even setting myself up for failure and trying to talk myself into this is going to be a great day. When I said that all those other days, and look at where it got me.
Yeah, I was very pessimistic.
Yeah,
the beginning of this year, because it's anxiety, it's fear,
yes,
but it's also exhaustion.
Yep.
Because it's just like, God,
yep,
why?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Enduring.
You know, and it's just like, okay, we have faith. We gonna have to keep getting tested.
Come on now.
Like, come
you know
on.
what I'm saying?
But then, you know, we was talking about 2 hours. It's like, what you do?
No.
Did you not give your what you is it
Looking
sit
at
in
to
the
see
can like who done
judgment.
did something like, because this is not natural.
It reminds me of Job's friends.
Yup.
Right? When
Yup.
Job was going through it, his friends came to comfort him, and they was just like, for real, bro.
What you do?
What you do, man?
What you do to get this
for God
wrath
to take
of
everything
God?
from you? What did you do?
That's how
like,
it
you
feels.
can tell us, but it was, and I literally asked Dory.
You did.
I was just like, yo, did I like hit somebody's dog or something? Like, did I?
He was Jay had lost his mind.
I was losing my mind,
He
bro,
was
because I was just like,
me stuff.
what is happening for all this? Are we have a curse on us or something?
No,
like,
that's what it be
what
feeling
is
like.
going on?
Like, we really had to, wrestle with that whole idea of just thinking negative. And I remember doing that, when I was younger, because so much stuff was negative. I always would expect the worst thing so that if that happened, I wouldn't be disappointed. And then if I got even one step better than the worst case scenario, it felt like it was a win. Right. And I really had to fight against not doing that again, because that's just what it felt like was the right thing to do to protect myself. Because it sure felt like, well, God, you ain't out here trying to protect me in these emotional and mental health streets.
Yep, get smacked.
I need to employ these things so that way I don't get let down. And it was really tough. It really was hard.
It was, especially when you feel like, there's a black cloud, not passing over, but just resting over you.
Sitting there.
And that's the thing. It's like, it feels like everybody else got the sunshine, but it's just pouring over me. And it's not going anywhere. And I think that's when your faith can really be tested. And there's nothing wrong with questioning God. Because I think that's the thing people need to understand. I know a lot of people say, you don't question God.
Yeah, don't do that.
But that's not scriptural, right? That's not scriptural. I know we've been talking about Job, but like Job questioned God a lot.
He did. I mean, God came for him and let him know about himself.
He did.
But
he challenged him, but like it was a healthy dialogue.
That is true.
Of hell, right? That Job was going through. Like, yo, what is going on?
That
like,
is
talk
true.
to me. And I think that's the thing we have to understand is if we can't question God, then what kind of relationship do we really have? Because the thing is, if you have a healthy relationship with somebody, you are going to be like, yo, what's up? It doesn't mean I don't believe in you. It just means I'm wondering why this is happening.
Can you just give me some clarity?
Can you give me some clarity? Can I get a lightning bolt or something to just say, like,
some insight?
to just say it's going to end? Like, and I think that's the thing we have to understand is having a healthy relationship with God is questioning what is happening. And I think a lot of times we misinterpret it by saying, you don't question God.
Like, why you doing what you doing? Why you allowing what?
Right.
Sometimes I may have done that.
Or you look at it as being like a heretic or something like that, which is like, oh, you don't believe in God no more? No, I'm just upset that I lost that loved one. And I'm wondering why he allowed it to happen. It doesn't mean I don't believe in him. It just means I want some answers. And or some sort of clarity. And I think that's the thing that's important is to know, like, it's no problem saying, God, what is going on? What is happening? Because Lord knows I did.
I know I did.
I was like, what is happening?
No.
Why are we going and why did we hit the year like this? Because like it was really like Happy New Year, like boom, boom, boom.
Hit that ground running for trash.
And I'm like, my goodness, literally.
It's like, come on.
What did I say? I was like, this month has been nothing but trash juice. I was like, January was a trash.
Freshly squeezed trash.
Here's your glass.
Because there's nothing nastier than trash juice. You know what I'm saying? Getting on your hand, on the floor. If it leaks through your thing in your trash can. And that's literally how I saw the month of January. Because I was like, there is nothing good that has come out of this month, you know. It is healthy to have those kind of conversations and thoughts, you know.
Yeah, with God and with the right know, like, you know, because it. And I realized, too, in that time, just how important it is to guard my emotions and not say stuff like that to the wrong folk. Because, you know, you be like, you know what, this kind of sucks. Like, you know, and then you be like, you know what, it do suck. And you know what else sucks? You know, and they pointing out stuff in your life that sucks. And you like, that, I didn't even think that sucked, too. Like, that sucks. Yeah. Like, you know, just being very careful about that and really just, you know, presenting our whole hearts before God, you know, but then also, you know, people that we can trust to be able to share those inner thoughts, because sometimes you do share that type of stuff with the wrong person and they may judge you, or they may tell you business, or it might be a whole different, you know,
or try to preach
dynamic
to you.
or that.
Because that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing to do. Public service announcement to anybody listening. If somebody is going through something, it is not time for a sermon.
Don't give them no scripture.
It's not time for scripture.
I'm praying for you.
That's it. That's it. Don't give nobody.
Talk about it. I ain't gonna say nothing.
That's it.
That's
like,
it. Don't give nobody. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but we don't want to hear that right now. You know, we don't want to hear when somebody lost a loved one. I think you alluded to it. They're in a better place and all that kind of stuff.
That stuff is like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, you know, or be grateful for the years that you had with them.
That's
don't
fair.
come to me talk about, well, you had them for 94. I only had my grandfather for 74. First of all, we ain't talking about your grandfather.
No comparison.
Yeah. Okay,
let's
don't compare.
That's the other part. Don't compare.
That's it. Like, let's not do
your
that.
moment.
Yep.
I'm having mine.
Right.
Yep.
It ain't about you.
Yeah.
It's my life right now,
Yes.
my moment. You know, so I mean, I think that's the thing too.
It's
like,
true.
You know, the old school saying is, you ain't got nothing good to say. Don't say it at all. And sometimes it's just
and sometimes you just sit there.
That's it. A loved one of ours tragically lost her husband at a very young age. Our goddaughter, actually, one of our goddaughters, and you know, that's all we was doing.
Ain't no words.
We were sitting with her right before, you know, she was going to say goodbye. And there was nothing to say.
That's tough.
There was nothing to say.
But in these moments, what I have noticed, you know, because I mean, we did have to go to, you know, funerals in rapid succession, just how, you know, inappropriate the things that people say. And I think it's not a thing that, you know, they're trying to be inappropriate or whatever. It's just we don't know how to just sit and just
quiet.
be present with someone. We always feel like we have to fill that space with something. And it was all kind of stuff going on when I was able to sit back and just watch. And I'm just like, how would you think that saying that right now is helpful? How do you...
You can't help me.
Can you tell the story? You don't have to say who it was. Can you tell the story of the person who started breaking out in song?
Oh, well, one of the times,
y'all gotta listen to this.
And I'm in the room, and you know, this was right after this person had passed. We were still in the room with their body, we were still there. Everything had just happened, and you know, one of the family members decides to just out of nowhere just start singing "His Eye Is on the Sparrow," and I'm like thinking in my brain. What that got to just, it just was like, well, how is this helping? And I'm trying to think of the lyrics and the words, like, okay, maybe we gonna get like just, and I think, you know, I don't think that she meant wrong. You know what I mean? But it's just like, think before we just say stuff and just do stuff and really just be sensitive to the Spirit of God. And most of the time, you know, I found that in those moments, it's just like we just need to sit down and shut up. As far as those of us that are there to support those that are, you know, that are in the closest proximity to that loved one, and then even going through, you know, my own loss. It's just like I don't want to hear no script. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I know I'm gonna see them again.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna see them now.
Right.
You know, and whatever, you know, could have been in the future, that's done. You know, because now they're gone. And it's just like, you know, if we really just sit and think, like, life is enough. I don't need that foolishness. I don't need coming up in the room too. And I don't think we really realize it. We just do stuff off of default. Like, we're just going to sing a song. Or I'm just going to ask you if you'll get married again right over your dead husband's body. Like, we're just going to do that.
Happened. That
we're just going to
happened.
man,
That was
look.
the same person.
And I be trying to tell folk, I love the Lord, but certain things just be making me want to slap folk. I don't even know if I should say that or not. But some stuff just be making me like, why do you think that's, I was so
irritated, pissed off, whatever you want to say.
That was a lot.
I think that's the
that was
the
a
thing.
lot.
And I get myself together back.
It was.
Man,
I was just like,
bro, it was. I wasn't there because if I was there, I probably would have set it off. But like, get out.
I'm gonna tell you though, but I be telling you, like the fruit of the spirit is real. Cause self-control. Because if I was ready to pop off, I know she was ready to pop off. Like, how you just?
The wife was amazing in how strong she was and how she was self-restraint. Because with fresh grief, she could have easily tore this person apart with her bare hands, man. Like
I'm bleeding
right.
Yeah.
When Dorian told me that, I was just like, I was starting to shake because I'm like, are you kidding me?
I literally just had to sit back here and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
and it's just like, and I mean, I think the other thing too, because we went to the one of the homegoing services, and another family member for this person that had passed away just walked up to the person's spouse and was just like, they look good. They look real good.
Don't say that to me.
Don't say that.
Find something else to say.
Yes.
The word was encouraging.
Yeah.
Or we're praying for you.
That's it.
Or don't say anything.
That's it.
Don't say anything.
Just hug me, give
That's
me a
what I said.
handshake,
That's it.
back on the cheek,
And
if
go
your
on
breath
about your
don't
business.
stink, and keep moving.
keep going.
About your business.
You're so
That
right.
is such a churchy thing
It
to
is.
do.
You always got to
And,
say
they
that.
look-
Somebody's
who got
going
the
to
body?
say that.
Who got the body?
Oh my
Or,
gosh.
or they look so natural. You don't look natural in a coffin.
When you're
Like,
you're in a coffin, what's natural about
there's
that?
nothing natural about
Yeah.
that. And I know you're trying, for the people that listen, I know you're trying to soothe,
hard.
but you're not. You're soothing in a way of getting a Brillo pad and running it across somebody's arm. Right? Legitimately, when you're saying things like that, or you're.
Don't think they don't remember what you said.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
They heard you.
They do.
They just didn't react.
They just didn't react. And thank God they didn't. Right? Because if you say something insensitive, like, man, that's the calmest I ever saw.
Excuse me?
You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
Just
like,
know.
the fact that your head is still attached to your body is a miracle.
Like, I've been feeling like the true work of the power of God's
it
Spirit
really
is
is.
up in the funeral.
Oh, it really is. Shout out to all the families that are grieving, that are freshly grieving, that you have self-control when people say
And you are
insensitive
not
things
going
like this,
on.
because there are people who legitimately kind of deserve to be put in a place right then in that moment, but because of the self-restraint that you have that God has given you, and also just the respect that you have for the house of God or wherever you may be having the, for your family or whatever, shout out to y'all for real, because
that's
the
a lot.
self-control,
It could be real bad.
it could be real bad.
That's
It could be
and
real
I
bad.
think too that sometimes people do say these kinds of stuff to make themselves feel better because they're uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
So at least it's like, but at least I said something that was positive and good. They may think that they're doing the best thing, but it's just like legit the best thing you can do.
Put it in a card.
Yes.
Put it in a card.
Put in a card.
You say, you pray or just say, I'm praying.
Praying.
Give them a hug. Like, just
Praying.
That's the best thing,
We
because
love
it's
you.
like,
Yeah.
it's like we know we're going to see them in the future. Like, okay.
What's up, everybody? This is Jay.
Hey, it's Dorian.
And look, we just wanted to take a minute to thank you guys so much for your support.
Yes.
And watching all of our content across all the platforms, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, and some other stuff as well. Right? Yes. So we just want to just thank you guys so very much for your support. We don't take it lightly. Listen, we want to encourage even more of you guys to be engaged and invested in what we do. Now, how do we do that? How do they do that?
You're going to have to like, you're going to have to share, you're going to have to comment on the content that's coming out. And also follow us on Instagram. We are at Takeover Ministries Official on Instagram, and also on YouTube, where we are Takeover Podcast.
Anything else?
And y'all know what? Because we don't want to just be coming up with content and just different things. Let us know what y'all want to hear. Drop them comments. Leave us a, idea of what topics you want. Nothing is off the table. We will talk about it from a kingdom mindset and a godly perspective, of course. But y'all know we be talking about the things. Put it in the comments, and
Yeah, but we ain't talking about no ratchet stuff.
Why?
Because we ain't ratchet.
Who's not?
You continue to support us, and we will continue to pray for you.
Yep.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.
Have a great one. Funny story for me was when my grandfather passed a couple of years ago. I eulogized him. And I remember, telling my mom, like, I got it, I'm good. And I had put the eulogy together the night before, and I remember being in my office downstairs. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I was like, what have I gotten myself into?
Incredible.
Because I didn't have a backup plan. So, like, I didn't invite any of my friend ministers to come and be like, yo, if I can't
Just
make
in
it,
case.
can you eulogize?
Yeah, you do need that.
I didn't have that.
You need that cookie.
I was like, it's too late to call them and be like, hey, can y'all come through and rescue me? And I remember literally saying to myself, God, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. And just like you were saying, Antoine, the strength God gave me to do that in that moment. And because I didn't cry, because I thought I was gonna start bawling as soon as I got up there. He just was able to flip the strength meter all the way up.
Yeah. Yeah.
In which I could do it. And like you said, when it was over and I think I got home, that's when I was just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the strength that God gives you. And I'm sure people probably said some stuff too, like, he's in a better place and all that, but I just kind of tuned that out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think it's so important that we be sensitive, because
in that moment,
because you can say one thing that can trigger somebody, or you can say one thing that somebody holds on to forever.
And that is true.
Because it's like, oh, I thought so-and-so was really cool, but I ain't gonna remember what you said in that receiving line when you was walking around for the, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's who you really are. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's anybody, dealing with anything difficult.
Right.
Because I know of women that like lose babies, and it's like, oh, you can have another one.
Oh.
If
Ma'am.
you talk about stuff that be making me want to cuss, like that kind of stuff, like just
that's difficult.
Dismissing
the trauma
of what's happened.
Yeah.
Like you could just get married again. You can just replace. That and it's just like,
are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's not like it's an assembly line. All right, next wife,
man.
next husband.
Just like,
ticket number 42.
Yeah,
Come
and
on
it's
down.
just like, man, and I mean, it's very important for us to, watch who we're around and what we're taking in when we're dealing with difficult times, because we want to deal with difficult stuff.
Yeah.
Like death is a thing. We gonna have to face it. In our love, it's just a thing. It's always disruptive. It never comes when we're like, this is convenient.
We had a pause button.
Like,
I wish.
And it's just like, okay. And I know for me, going through all of that, and at this point, it was just like, wow, like, I probably should get used to disruption in my life. I very much have been a creature of comfort. Like, I don't just leave my routine where it is. Don't be messing stuff up. This is it. Keep it this, because this is just enough. So, when everything happened starting in January, everything was it's just like throwing a bunch of papers up in the air in a room, and they just fall where they may. And it's just like, wow, the one constant was God's presence. That was the one constant. He didn't necessarily give me answers.
He was there.
But
he never left in those moments. And even when I was just like, seriously, God, like, what the world? The Bible talks about rain falling on the just and the unjust. Like, we are not exempt from difficulty just because we believe in God, just because we believe Jesus. We're not exempt from that.
Right.
Like, things are going to happen, but it's just like, like realizing like God is still going to be there regardless of whatever. Even if you ain't praying regularly, you ain't talking to him, you ain't, whatever the case is, he's always going to be there.
I wasn't.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, like people may walk away, relationships may be different because, a certain person was the glue and all of these things, but he's never going to leave. He made a promise, and his promise to us is stronger than anything that can happen on this earth.
Yeah.
Any loss, any gain, any whatever. That promise of knowing that he's there and just being mindful of like, I don't need to bang with certain people right about now. You already know I had to block somebody.
Yeah.
Because
that was wild too.
Shut it down. Like, I don't. That
was wild. Very insensitive to when her father passed away.
I just can't. And it's just
made
like,
it all about themselves.
Yeah. If that's what I have to do, then that's what I have to do, because I really, when stuff starts spinning and, that disruption starts happening and I'm getting to that point where I'm just like, I'm tired of all of this.
Yeah.
I know that I really need to sit with God, because he's the anchor.
Well, and I think the thing too is whatever grief you're going through, whether it's death of a family member, or death of a thing, a job, losing your job,
all kinds of
stuff.
Same stuff. Yep.
It's real important that you watch who you're interacting with, because we all still have a past that can be activated through our grief. Right? So like for me, when I was going through my grief, and obviously in, the month of January, this specific situation, which Dorian had to block somebody, I was like about to be the old Jay from like the late 90s. And it was just like, okay, I'm about to just rip this person to shreds with my tongue. And I was ready. And then the Holy Spirit was like, okay, how's that going to make things better?
Good question.
And I'm like, it'll make my flesh feel better though. It's like, yeah, how is this going to make things feel better? Right? You guys are grieving. Your wife is grieving. Okay, cool. You do what you need to do. What are going to be the ramifications of you doing this?
On the other end.
On the other end. Because you are still a follower of me, right? Like, yeah. You call yourself a minister, right? Yeah. Okay, where am I in the midst of all this? I'm like, all right.
Like, dag, man.
Let me delete this text. You know what I'm saying?
Can't even have fun.
But it's so true. But like a lot of the times we don't have that interaction with the Holy Spirit. Or sometimes we're like, I hear you. I'm going for mine right now. I'll repent later and handle this.
That's a wild statement.
But the thing is, like, we can make things worse for everybody around us.
True.
If we don't mindfully have boundaries with our emotions and stuff like that. So that's a great point that you bring up. Like, maybe I just need to just talk to 3 people right now.
Yeah.
Because if one person just says,
tip you off,
it's going to take me back 30 years or 20 years or 10 years in which I'm just ready to fight, you know what I'm saying? Or, ain't nothing worse than seeing like a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds fighting. Like, come on, bro. Like
what y'all doing?
Come on, man.
Stop it.
Come on, stop
Everybody all out of breath.
it. Yeah, all right. Hold up. Let's take a time out. Then I'm going to whoop your behind.
Stop this.
All right, we ready.
Stop
Like, come on, man. Like, chill.
Yeah.
Like, it's so I think it's really important that we have that boundary when we're going through.
Yeah. And it's just like, God gets us through.
He does.
Because we deal with some difficult things. And we going to have to deal with some difficult things. Like, it's not, and it's not always having that expectation of like, oh boy, what's going to happen next? Or how you be like, stuff been going real good. Uh-oh. That means something is coming. And it takes a lot of effort though to keep our expectations with God.
Yeah.
And what I've gotten to at this point is like, you know what? Fine. I'm not going to be out here talking about today's just going to be great. It's just going to be great. Like but it's just like whatever today brings, I know God will get me through. Yeah. Because, I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know who holds my tomorrow. I know God's going, whatever goes down, he going to get me through that. And we going to be all right, but it really was a lot of shaking. And it was like, what the heck? Especially when you ain't used to all of that going on at the same time.
It's not natural. It's not natural.
So,
Yeah.
We just wanted to, hopefully y'all got some encouragement out of that. And to let y'all know too, like y'all ain't the only ones dealing with the ghetto.
No.
We all dealing with the stuff. Like the stuff be, and I just find now like life is disruptive. And, one thing that's important is about having a support, having a community, having at least somebody to be like, yo, I'm going through such and such. Like, can you pray for me? And y'all can always reach out to us and, send it in a DM, some comments, an email, whatever. And we will pray, know, but it be real.
It's real. And just know, like, that's why we did it. Like you just said, you're not by yourself.
Yeah.
Right. There's reasons why, we go through things, and then there's certain reasons we don't know. Yeah. Like, I don't know what's happening right now, so like we're all collectively going through this thing called life. Yeah. And the goal of today is to get through this day. Yeah. Okay. And you get through however you get through it with the strength of God. Yeah. And it's not one size that fits all. When it comes to grief, do know that there is no rule book.
True.
On grief. So whoever that's for, you grieve the way that you grieve. Okay. I still get triggered every Father's Day because my grandfather is gone. And that might be when I'm in my 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's never a statute of limitations. There's like, you still grieving over that?
You ain't over
That's
that
another
yet?
way to get punched right in your face too, by the way. Please don't ever say that to anybody, no matter who it is. Even if somebody lost an animal. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
If you lost an animal, somebody like, that's just an animal. That's just a dog, man. Go get another dog. Don't do that. Please don't do that, because that's also a member of the family as well. Yeah. Right? So like, just shut up.
Sit down and shut up. I told you. You know what I'm saying? Sit down
when
and shut
somebody's
up.
going
Don't
through
say
something,
nothing.
if you need a rule book for somebody that's going through any type of grief, a person, place, or thing, just shut up. Okay? And a nice tap on the, on the shoulder, a nice, like Antoine said, I'm gonna pray for you.
Yeah.
That's it.
So no.
Don't please leave your Bible at home if you go to comfort somebody. Like, just your presence is the greatest gift of God that they can have in that moment right then. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you that are going through, know that you take it one day at a time.
Yep.
One moment.
That's it.
And it's okay.
That's it.
It's okay. You don't have to walk around with a fake smile and, everything's great.
I got it.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Every day is not a good day.
No,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
your mood can change. Like, you
Sure
might start
can.
out great and then
And out of nowhere, boom.
Boom.
See something, hear something,
Yeah, 'cause
smell
that's the
something,
thing.
and it triggers you,
That's-
and it's like, what the?
that's things that still trigger you. You know, I remember one day I saw somebody that resembled my grandfather and it jacked me up.
See? Yep.
And I think I was in Target or something. And I was just like, I don't want nothing no more.
Yep.
I
Gotta
put the
go.
stuff back and I just left.
Gotta go.
Because it was just like, yo, this whole
Yeah.
day's jacked up now. And it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't feel okay, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And that's not us being religious or anything. That's us going through hell together, right? But we know that we are going to be okay.
Yeah.
So that's what today was all about.
Yeah.
We still tired.
Stuff be getting on our nerves, and we
Stuff
be like,
get on our nerves, but we gonna get some strength as well. So we hope that this was
yeah.
an encouragement, maybe a little laugh for somebody that needed it, and we hope that this was a blessing to you. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us,
Yeah.
and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. See?